Hi everybody, and welcome back to Plastic Models by Regular Dude and part 9 of the Tamiya 1/35th scale M2A2 Bradley. So in this video, the vehicle is pretty much done. So in this video, I'm going to start working on the figure. So as you can see here, I've got some flesh color sprayed on. Just found a seam I missed during cleanup. But I got a base flesh color in place. So now I need to do a little experimentation and see what I can do about getting this guy painted up. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've made like this ultra thin glaze kind of thing going on with mahogany brown. I'm using some glaze medium and some distilled water. And basically I'm just going to put this stuff on here to kind of create some shadowy business. And then once that dries, I'm going to start hitting it with some highlights and shadows and stuff. So let's let that dry first. Okay, so here's the deal. I have scratched trying to use a glaze or any of that kind of stuff. I've tried the acrylics for the flesh tones and it just doesn't work for me. I can't control it enough. Could be a patience thing, but I can't control it enough to make it work. So what I'm doing is I am using this flesh color set by M2A2 502, and it's oil-based paints, and I just find them much easier to control because I can blend them, I can remove them, I don't have to worry about them sticking, I don't have to worry about gradually building up layers and layers of ultra thin paint. It looks, you know, with the acrylics, they just, when you first put them on, once they dry, they look so much different. So I'm just not messing with that. So what I've done is I do have the base coat of the sand or whatever color I used for the base coat in acrylic. And what I've done is I took the basic which one's that one called? Flesh Shadow. And I just used a brush and some thinner, and I basically did a glaze, or whatever you want to call it, a wash over the whole, all the flesh tones of the figure. Once that dries a little bit, because I put it on, you know, in such a thin manner, then I'm going to start building up the colors, the facial colors. So I'll use basic next, then I'll use sunny, then I'll use light, and I'll just get some highlights and all that kind of stuff going on. Figures are a work in progress with me, and I'm going to continue to work on them, but I think this is how I'm going to get the best results. So I'm going to let this dry for a little bit, and then I can start working with the other colors. Okay, now for the uniform, I'm going to do the uniform first, and then I'll do the helmet last, and then, you know, his watch and whatever little detail things. But I'm going to use Vallejo Model Color paints, and I'm going to use for the this camouflage, woodland scheme camouflage. I'm going to use US dark green, black, flat earth, and khaki for the 4 individual colors. And since I'm going to be doing, you know, having to layer paints, I'm going to start with the lightest color first to use as a base, and then just build the other colors on top of that. Actually, I think I may scratch that. I'm going to use US dark green for the first color. because the khaki color, there's not a whole lot of that on the uniform, not as much as these other colors. So that's what I'm going to start with, just layer up from there. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to use some distilled water to thin it with, and for the first coat I'll just use one of my well-used brushes here. No, I'm not. I'm going to use a good brush because I want to make sure that I don't get... I'll use this brush here. It's got a decent point. Should allow me to get the around the collar and all that kind of stuff without having any trouble. So let me get some of this mixed up. Just a quick tip on the Vallejo model color paints, they're ultra thick and it's really hard to shake them in these little bottles. And putting stainless steel bearings or whatever in these, pretty much an exercise in futility because it's so thick they can't rattle around enough to do any real mixing. So what I like to do is I take my good old Tamiya paint mixing sticks, how it's got this flat paddle end on it, and I just get everything that's settled on the bottom, dig it around like that, and then I just spin it a bit just to get it mixed up a little bit better, and then I continue to shake it some because, you know, as you can see how thick that is. They're really hard just to shake in the bottle itself. So put the cap back on it, clean the paint stick off, the stir stick, whatever you want to call it, and shake it up. And then start painting. Alright, there we go. The base layer is on. And not too shabby, I must say, considering I just had a cup of coffee about 20 minutes ago. Yep, stoked. So we'll let that dry a little bit and then we'll come back and do some more colors. Alright, next part starts the tricky stuff, which is painting the camouflage pattern. So you can't see it, but over on my computer monitor to my left, I've got a swatch of U.S. Woodland Camouflage pattern, and I'm going to kind of go off that and hope it works, but we shall see. So I got some brown mixed up here, but it looks like, yeah, we'll see how it works. Okay, so let's talk about what's happened so far. So I got the rest of the camouflage painted on here, including the lighter colors. So that's done, and I have to say I'm pretty stoked. This is the first time I have painted camouflage on a uniform, and although not perfect, I am stoked with the way it turned out. I painted the belt. I just need to paint the buckle and the wristwatch with some black. I got the helmet painted with, it called for olive drab, and that's what I used, the Model Air olive drab. I I used khaki and white in equal portions for this lighter color. And then for the inside of the rolled up sleeves here, Woodland Camouflage is kind of like a lighter color of the darker green, so that's what I did. There's some color variations due to the dyes and stuff from the other colors, but I didn't mess with that. I just put that because I'm going to do a little bit of washes on here and stuff like that, just to break up the monotony of it, and to, you know, kind of get these seam lines and stuff to come out a little bit better. I'm also going to put some on the helmet, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to do that wash, paint that buckle, and then the figure should be pretty much done. All right, and with that, I think this is the end of part 9 of the Tamiya 1/35th scale M2A2 Bradley. So next time when I come back, I will do the final reveal and a slideshow of the completed kit. So if you have any questions or comments, anything like that, please put them in the comments section down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So until next time for part 10 and the grand finale, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.